So, my beautiful royal rogues, I have bad news and good news for you. Which one do you prefer first? Oh, the bad news? All right. The bad news is that, well, Harry and Meghan, in this case, Harry, is pushed to obviously keep giving or making or creating or appearing in content that makes him look relatable, like he was a normal human being, or at least a sane human being. That is the bad news. The good news is that it's gonna be an unlimited source of memes and content for us as per usual. So I guess we can get started with this one. This was an interview with the American comedian, I think he's American, Hassan Minaj. And, I think Fashionista Era put it very well. This interview with Prince Harry and Hassan Minaj feels very intentional and strategic. Harry's been labeled the whining guy in the past. He has been whining since, I don't know, from before the Oprah interview. How much have we been at that? I mean, we're gonna be like 5 years into this. So notice how this one is lighthearted, full of jokes, quote unquote, self-mockery, and laughs about Spears. It's clearly a PR move, a complete image reset. The problem with this is that Harry has zero sense of humor. I mean, zero. And this is painful to watch. It is really painful when you see somebody has no intelligence whatsoever. And well, I for one, I find a direct correlation between intelligence and ability and sense of humor and sarcasm, not only to generate it or express it, but understand it. Harry, it's obvious he doesn't have the brain power to process either one. So sometimes he's like, hey, you here, buddy? So yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think it was a huge undertaking for Hassan. I really haven't paid much attention to him. I think he's a I haven't seen his comedic stuff, but at least he tried his best with Harry, and it went like this. Let's make some quotes from Spear.
You've always been one to share how you feel, and you were really vulnerable in your memoir, Spare. And I know there was a lot of pain in those pages. There was a moment in the book that really shook me to my core, and it was this quote. Each year I received from Pa an official clothing allowance, but that was strictly for formal wear, suits and ties, ceremonial outfits. For my everyday casual looks, I'd go to TK Maxx, the discount store. I was particularly fond of their once-a-year sale when they'd be flush with items from Gap or J. Crew.
Okay, this is the usual deadpan humor approach to this. He's really trying to make fun of it. What Hassan is doing here. This is, I'm making sure to activate the AI voice isolation so the sound doesn't trigger any copyrighted stuff on YouTube. What Hassan is doing here is trying to do what I mentioned many times that it happens in TV shows, especially in, science fiction TV shows and movies. When you retcon stuff, retconning is that you reframe something or change that something that has already happened in the past or part of the lore of the story of an IP or a universe and try to change it to fit your current agenda, all right? In this case, it's trying to, do a retcon of all the whining and the stupidness of a Spear into something funny. But yeah, it's obviously Hassan is doing the heavy lifting here because Harry would never do this because he actually wrote, well, not Harry, his ghostwriter, wrote Spear to inspire pity, and that's where the name Spear comes from as well. So we know that. Now they're trying to, try to flip the script, but it's not gonna work. No, it's not working, like, at all. I'm gonna keep playing this.
Through items that had just come out of season or were slightly damaged.
I mean, in fact, I have to ask the obvious question because I don't know, because I did not read Spear. Was this actually in the book, or what? Because that's important. We have two options. I have no idea. I have no idea. I sincerely, at this point, I'm making this video and I have no idea if this text was actually in spare. And that is a problem, because as the same as yours truly, in which I try to, keep up with the Joneses of the Montecito, if I can't tell if this is true or not, and this is not in spare, if this is in spare, it's worrying, all right, enough. If this is not in spare, it means that many people out there are also believing, like me, that this is actually in the book, all right? You understand the confusion? This is the kind of confusion we have with AI, but in this case, they're trying to do something, I don't know, either reframe what is actually in spare or make up something that is not in the book. But it's in quotes. I guess it is actually in the book. I don't know how can they look at this with a straight face or make a deadpan humor about this. I don't know.
Bro, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I know. You know what? It was hard. It was really hard. TK Maxx it's now a special place. Forms a special place in my memory.
And as I was reading that, I was just like, TK Maxx.
I remember always go back. You tell me, oh, Jesus, you keep going back to that speech. I always go back to the United Nations speech because that was a turning point for Harry. That's when we found out that he had, or his handlers, or his handler had the intention of putting Harry out there, but not the intention of making him look good. He had some jokes, quote unquote, about Mandela's shirt that never landed. I can't get that out of my head. And this is the exact same thing. He's trying to follow up on the joke set up by Hassan is his name? And no, he just can't land anything. Body language, tone, nothing. That is not his realm, and that is okay. Some people are not made for humor. All right, it's just like that. It's like David Goggins. Maybe you don't know who David Goggins is, but the guy is very valuable for humanity. But humor is not one of the reasons that he is valuable for humanity. That's the one thing. But in the case of Harry, well, it's hard to find a reason, any value that he brings to our civilization. Nancy Sidley says, Harry has always been known as a bit of a dummy. A bit? Just a bit? All right. Well, just a bit. Not just a bit. But this pre-taped podcast make him look even dimmer. Instead of appearing confident and going along with what could have been a funny bit, Harry looked to his handler for guidance. Yes, he looked to his right, as in, what do I do now? You have to watch this. Whatever confidence he had left when he moved to California seemed to be gone, at least in my opinion. I don't think that he had any confidence left when he was 1 year into Meghan, because Meghan took that away, because, Meghan made sure to take that confidence away, because that is how manipulative personalities control you, taking your confidence away, making you basically dependent on them. But that is, again, I've said that too many times on my Body Language Guy channel. I could repeat that once more, but let's watch this clip.
This one's heavy, Harry.
Because the other ones haven't been.
What do you think of this Charlie XCX Taylor Swift beef?
The what? Oh, no.
No, this is serious, because was Charlie's diss track even a diss track? I mean, to me, sympathy is a knife.
You see Harry's face. And you see that he has absolutely zero idea. Well, to be fair, I have zero idea who Charlie XCX or whatever is that. I have no idea. But this was like a setup, as in it was an intentional setup to make Harry look like a fool, I guess, or I don't know. It wouldn't be the idea, because it seems it is obvious that this is a PR stunt, and the idea behind a PR stunt is to at least make the guest look good. It's like, you remember the interview of Jamie currently Lima with Meghan? It was cringe, but it was made to make Meghan look good. But this ain't it. This is horrible.
Diss track. I mean, to me, Sympathy is a Knife was about something completely different. But then Taylor comes back and I think escalates it with the actually.
Yeah, he looks like, what is he talking about? What am I supposed to answer to that? He has no idea. He's been skewered on tape. This is hard to watch. This is like 1 hour long. Who's gonna watch 1 hour of this? Not me. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to watch 1 hour of this, and neither should you. And then was Harry trying to do an American accent, which well, it's oh my god. I'm not going to criticize Harry. You know that my own accent has hits hikes and lows every now and then. But then we have this.
How's your yeehaw?
Yeehaw!
Can you do an American accent?
Which part of America?
Anywhere. I'll give you a sentence. Here, I'll give you a sentence.
That is, I'm not gonna lie. That is, if they told me, can you do a British accent, saying which part of the UK would be really brave, because well, I basically know one British accent, which is Harry's accent. That is the only accent that I know.
Are you going to ask me? Okay, you got
I've not just
a sentence there.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah, yeah.
it depends on what it says.
All right,
yeah,
here we
let's
go.
try.
This is the most American sentence I could think of. I ordered breadsticks with ranch dressing at Applebee's.
Say it again.
The ranch. You got to
Ranch.
And then on Applebee's, really emphasize the A, Applebee's.
Applebee's.
I love Applebee's.
I love Applebee's. Now I'm just sitting here sweating.
I ordered breadsticks with ranch dressing.
I ordered breadsticks with ranch dressing.
I don't know. I'm gonna try my Latino accent with that. I order breadsticks with ranch dressing. How did I do?
At Applebee's.
At Applebee's.
That was decent.
I enjoyed that.
Hey, do you like my Cybertruck?
Hey, do you like my Cybertruck?
You guys out there, you cannot laugh like this. We're having a real thing.
No, but by the way,
This is something that I don't understand, right? I have something to say about this. I want to stop 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I mean, English is his native language, his mother tongue. He was born into English, into British English, that posh accent, right? You move it to the United States, this should be easy to get around, to be around people speaking an American accent. How can you not be able to, well, maybe that is easy for me in Spanish. It's something that is, maybe I have the ability for that. Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe I'm biased about that. But I have the ability of, if I'm in a certain region of Latin America or Spain, I can get the accent really, really quick and talk like a local in Spanish, right? I know how to hear those sounds. But I think that you should at least have a remote idea of how to speak in localese. And part of the localese is the accent. I don't know how Harry, with so much people that she must be around, and America hasn't picked up an American accent yet, even if just for kicks and giggles. That is another sign that, well, he might be a bit daft after all. Let's keep watching this. Oh my God, how long?
the laughter, it's encouraging. Is it encouraging or is it mocking me?
No, I
Come on, y'all.
we have a. There we go.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and then he talks about, the dangers of social media.
Should parents post photos of their children online?
Oh, that's interesting, because Megan has done this a couple times lately.
This has also been a very.
Parents can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
The reality is, from what I've learned, what I've seen, what I've heard and experienced especially through the Parents Network, is you should be really, really worried, concerned, and cautious about putting photographs of your kids online.
I'm going to say it. Harry is right. Harry is dead right. Harry is spot on. Harry just hit bullseye with that statement. Parents should be very wary of posting photos of their kids online. And that is my advice as well. I've told you that all the time. Do not post photos of your kids online. Simply do not do that. It's not do that at your own peril. I suggest you don't. No. Don't do that. That's actually sound advice. But again, isn't Megan doing that lately? I don't understand. I don't understand what is going through your head, Harry. I don't understand what the script is. I am so confused, but I do know that as usual you are being used. And that is not a secret to anybody. That is how to say that? That is it's an open secret. But again, I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.